Well, I think we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event.
And sit down.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, Mr. Main Event himself, the often imitated, never duplicated Superstar Tim Vicious. And we're going to go over Raw this week. Was in Austin, Texas. And, well, normally the mainstay is to keep Austin weird. This episode was not weird at all because, folks, I was thoroughly sports entertained while watching this show. Now, before we get into Raw, two things we got to go over first. First and foremost, as a reminder, we are a WWE Shop affiliate. So what that means is, if you're watching this on the Main Event Network's YouTube page, click the QR code that is, just scan the QR code that is provided. If you're watching this on my personal YouTube page or listening to this on Spotify, open up the description tab, click on the link that is provided. Now, what any of those three will do for you, it will take you to WWE Shop, and well, I know you're thinking, well, what's the difference between doing that or just typing it in myself? Well, the difference is, if you click on those links or scan that QR code, it'll take you there. You make your purchase for whatever item that you want, whatever your heart desires. We in turn receive a small nominal commission in return for said purchase for helping bring you to the site. So folks, I always say all the time, and this is the honest to goodness gospel truth, we are doing everything we can to make this show better for you. So if you're already planning on getting a WWE product off of their website, why not help us so that way we can in turn make this better for you in the long haul. So with that said, now also the second thing we do need to address, we got to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. It started out with Cody coming out. Excuse me, good God, I'm sorry. It started out with Cody coming out, addressing the crowd. So, what do you want to talk about? And then just as he's about to go and talk, next thing you know, Solo's music hits. Solo, I don't care what you want to talk about. We're going to talk about what I want to. Cody then, okay. So, we're not going to talk about on how you couldn't get the job done at WrestleMania. Or on how because you had to have your guys go and run interference, got Jacob Fatu hurt. Side note, nothing has been officially confirmed yet if Jacob Fatu is legitimately hurt or if it's just work. Or if it's just a work still. So far, according to all the rumors and gossip, but take rumors with a grain of salt, it's a work. Then Cody hit the nail on the head saying, or we could talk about on how you're nothing more but a cosplaying tribal chief that got taken down by the tribal chief. Which then Solo got all sorts of pissed off on it. Got up to the apron, then the Gorillas of Destiny came out, and just as it was about to go and be a 3-on-1, Kevin Owens came out with a steel chair, helped empty out the ring. Cody then just went over, Kevin, I'm glad you're here, because I was going to address who I wanted to face at Bash at Berlin for my WWE Championship, and the one person I feel deserves it is you. You've been there for me. You have helped me. You deserve a shot at this championship. Owens then reluctantly, listen, Cody, I appreciate it, man. I don't think I do. Oh, no, Kev, you do. Fast forward a little, we see Nick Aldis making it official. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at Bash at Berlin for the WWE title. That's been made official. Now, the other things that have happened on the other big highlights on SmackDown, we had two tag team qualifying championship matches. So what that means is we had 2 tag matches. The winners from both matches will face next week to determine who's going to be the number 1 contenders for the tag titles. The first match we had was Theory and Waller, A-Town Down Under, going against the Street Profits. This was a damn good match. Profits wound up getting the win. The other match we had DIY going against SmackDown's 2 most tastiest snacks. Pretty deadly. And well, I was thoroughly sports entertained while watching this match. And DIY got the win, so we're going to wind up having DIY against the Profits. My only concern is anytime you book babyface versus babyface, it's always like, who the hell am I supposed to cheer for? Because I like the Profits, love DIY, but it's, what? Huh? Yeah. So, aside from that, we also had U.S. title eliminator match. So we had Santos Escobar, C, because he made a note on doing that kind of mockery, going against Andrade to see who would face L.A. Knight, yeah, for his U.S. title, which, on a side note, again, if you have not read Alejandro the Great Brown Hope's blog on the Main Event Network's main page, folks, I highly encourage that you do, because not only is he a good writer, not only does he make fantastic articles that you can read, he called these guys to step up and challenge L.A. Knight for his coveted United States Championship. And that is not an insult. That is just a fact of life. Yeah. So we had Santos going against Andrade. This was a damn good match. This was really good. Now, trying to think the best way to describe this. This is what I would say is high-level WWE style lucha. And I'm not saying that in a disparaging kind of way, because we all know the quote-unquote WWE style, but yes, they have their own particular style, but they'll let the lucha guys that can do the lucha moves go and do them, and this was a really, really good one. Now we also had Jade Cargill going against Alba Fire. So this is eventually going to lead into a tag match where Jade and Bianca are going to go against... Excuse me, I felt that little frog in my throat. Felt that little scratch in my throat. We're eventually going to get Jade and Bianca going against Isla and Alba again for the tag titles, but yeah, it's just, again, it's all a matter of when, not if. And, well, yeah, folks, now I do also got to admit, this one almost slipped past me. We did also the big highlight of SmackDown, the return of the Tribal Chief himself. Solo came out, addressed he wanted Roman, he wanted to see Roman. Roman came out, very slow, very methodical, didn't say a goddamn word. Just looked, got in there, boom, threw a Superman punch. Again, Guerrillas of Destiny, Tamatonga, Tonga, they started clearing house, started beating up Roman. Roman came back, got his second win, hulked up, wrecked shit, tried to get the red Loa that he wore, that Solo's been running around with. Guerrillas of Destiny, they stopped him. He again cleared house and wrecked everyone. They all scattered. They had the red Loa. Roman just standing there loud and proud in the ring, like, looking like, yeah, I'm gonna have to whoop all your asses. Having that kind of look on his face. So, what I'm personally guessing, Tribal Combat, Berlin, then Hell in a Cell, in a Hell in a Cell match, then War Games. That is what I'm guessing we're going to have between now and up to November. What if they do anything at Crown Jewel in Saudi? I don't know. But that's me again. That's me freestyling and spitballing. But with that said, let's get into this week's show now. Raw in Austin. It starts out with Mommy coming out. Oh, good. Oh, Rhea Ripley coming out. Mommy coming out looking all sorts of mad. And she just basically saying, Dom, you know, I'm done with you. I'm done. You stabbed me in the back, although I'm pretty sure you're used to hearing this. You didn't go in deep enough. Ooh, you could hear everyone's jaw hit the floor when she said that, like, oh, damn. Ow. That was, ow. My pride got hurt when she said that. Like, ow. Like, that's, ow, that hurt. I felt bad for Dom on that one. But then she talked about on how Liv came, took her family from her, you know, basically saying she's coming for blood. And then you hear Liv, Rhea, and then Rhea looking around, wondering where the hell she's at, sees Liv and Dom all the way up in the fans, all the way up in the fans by the bleachers, saying, you know, you could say I took your family, but let's be honest. You did this to yourself. You made it all about you. And then Dominic talking about on how you tried to make me into somebody else. Calling you mommy, wouldn't let me eat chicken tendies whenever I wanted, trying to do this and this and this. And then eventually, but you know, Rip, the difference between you and Liv, she helped me do the one thing you couldn't, and that was beat my deadbeat dad. Rhea just looking. Okay. Alright. Dom, I was trying to help groom you into being a man. And I gave you your dad, and I didn't run in, step in at all whatsoever with your dad, because I wanted you to have one accomplishment on your own without you having to say, somebody had to help me. Apparently that was too much of, apparently I was looking and asking for too much on that. But you know what? You don't have to worry, because I'm not doing this alone. And then you just see Priest creep out the shadows behind them. And then Dom and Liv turn around like, ah! And then big brawl, they brouhaha. Priest starts throwing shots at Dom. Eventually drags him down. And then drags Dom and Liv. They get down to the ring. They start fighting. Rhea's got Liv. And then just as excuse me, just as easy for me to say, Priest is gonna go and take out Dom. Rest of Judgment Day come out. They go and clear out house. They go and try to clear out Priest. Rhea then makes triumphant return to go and help clear them out. Winds up, boom, giving a kick to the Goonies to Carlito. Stops him. Like Carlito literally running down. Rhea, who was going after Liv, came back and then boom, kicked him right in the nuts. And it was almost like cartoon gag-ish. Like, I got her, oh, God, I don't got her. Like that. then she winds up eventually taking them out. They beat the piss out of JD, and then next thing you know, Dom, just as the Terror Twins hug and embrace, you see Dom then just go and look like, jumps off, and as they're hugging, Priest, boom, grabs him by the throat and goes, nah, this is all you. Gives him to Rhea. Rhea's going to set him up for a riptide. Liv pulls him out the way. And what that tells me right there more than anything, man, once she gets her hands on him, the pop for that is gonna be huge. The people are gonna go banana for it. Now, later on in the show, they did make it official at Bash at Berlin. We're gonna get a mixed tag match where it's gonna be Priest and Rhea going against Liv and Liv and Dom, I believe it was. My memory is a bit fuzzy at the moment. It's either Liv and Dom or Liv and Finn. I apologize, I don't have all the exact details on hand. But with that said, now let's get into the first match of the night. After all that big brouhaha and that scuffle, we then get to Priest versus Carlito. This decent solid pace, I liked it. Priest, he was moving around like he was more so focusing on hurting Carlito than just trying to get the win. Carlito wound up picking up the pace and was leading into the commercial break, with Priest leading the post-commercial break and getting the win, doing a South of Heaven. And then, actually folks, I apologize because the brouhaha scuffle stuff was actually what was happened after the match. See, I was thinking of all that. I was thinking about that stuff that happened. Priest got the win, then that's when Judgment Day came in, and then Rhea did the rundown and kicked in the nuts. I apologize. I was just so caught up and so excited about it. I put one part before another. That's one of the things that we try and do here on this show, folks. We don't hide from our screw-ups. When we screw up on here, we don't hide from it. Unlike Wade, who does like to hide from his screw-ups. You know what you did. I saw what you did with that pen. Anyways, next up we had Odyssey Jones going against some Performance Center kind of jobber. Guy looked like a roadie out of a 1992 Guns N' Roses concert. You know, bandana, buzz cut hair, you know, just tights, and it was just, yeah, right. So the big thing on that was Kofi's hyping up Odyssey. Woods is kind of like, okay. And then, yeah. After Odyssey obviously got the win. After the match, Final Testament came out, threw out some burns at New Day saying, oh, Woods, look, Kofi's just bringing Odyssey Jones in to be a replacement for Big E. So, and then more squawking ensued, and then Kofi issued a challenge. 3-man tag next week. Us three against the Final Testament. So, yeah, we're going to be getting that match next week. Next up, we got Otis and Akira Tozawa going against the Creed brothers in a Tornado tag match. And, yeah, this was actually really decent. Now, the Creeds, they were leading at the start with Otis and Tozawa. They were leading into the commercial break, and that came to be because Otis just grabbed Akira. It was like, okay! And then he threw him over the ropes to land onto the Creeds, just clearing them out. I thought the match was good. I thought it was decent. It was a nice little kind of like middle of the show like match of, okay, this is going to be like our car crash scene moment. Because It's a mixed tag match. You know, everyone's going to be running in and out all the time. So either way, decent match. Now, Tozawa and Otis, they were leading post break, and man, it was decent. Otis was a damn wrecking ball in there, and good God, that is a dude I would not want to get into a fight with, because yeah, he just has that scary strength. He has that scary strength. I'm sorry. Now the match came to an end when it looked like Otis and Akira, they were going to win. When Ivy Nile came out of nowhere, grabbed Maxine and proceeded to put her in a dragon sleeper, and all the while that's going on, Otis sees it and he's like, what's going on? What? He sees that and he's freaking out over it now. And as he's doing that, the Creeds roll up Brutus and they dogpile him to make sure they put enough weight so he can't kick out to get the 1, 2, 3. Now those kind of interesting roll-ups I'm all good for. Anything else though, really, if it's just one of those impromptu surprise, what? Kind of surprise roll-ups, no. Next up, we got women's tag action. Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Whew. Lordy, need some heart pills. Going up against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. And them Shayna, Zoe, and Sonya. They do have an official name now for their stable. I unfortunately do not remember it. But either way, it was a good match. Io and Kairi, they were leading at the start with Shayna and Zoe leading into the break. With post-break, Io literally getting a hot tag in about 5 seconds after they come back from commercial break. Wrecking house, clearing names, kicking ass, taking names. And match ended in a DQ though when Isla Dawn and Alba Fire wound up coming in and attacking everyone. All because at one point, Isla and Alba wound up getting hit by accident when they were outside spectating. Excuse me. Next up, we got The Miz going against Big Bronson Reed, and this came to be because we saw a backstage segment where Miz sitting there looking miserable, gloomy, like, what the hell, man? R-Truth coming along. You alright, dog? Is it because you didn't have a match at SummerSlam when you were in your hometown? Well, it's okay. You know what, though? Because I talked to Adam Pearce for you. And I got you a match. I got you a match again with Bron. For the Intercontinental? Yeah, look right here. And you see on the TV, it shows Miz. Truth, that's not Braun Breaker. That's Big Bronson Reed. Oh. Ain't he the dude that killed Seth Rollins last week? Yes! And then you see Randy Orton. Hey, you guys alright? No, he just got me. Truth just put me in a match against Bronson Reed. Ain't he the guy that killed Seth last week? Yes! That's what I'm saying. Miz, you forget who you are? You're a multi-time champion. You're a Grand Slam champion. You won. You main evented WrestleMania and won beating John Cena. You can do this, man. I can do this. You can do this. Yeah. And then Truth looking over at Randy after he giving him that pep talk. Can he do that? Can he really do this? I don't know. And then they just go off. So now we get to the match. Miz trying to play to the speed because, not saying Miz is a speed fighter, but relatively speaking, he moves faster than Reed, but no avail. Reed was just powering him. Miz got his fair share of licks in, but you know, you hear me use this analogy all the time, but it was like seeing a 12-year-old fighting Mike Tyson. And I'm saying Mike Tyson in general, it could have been in his prime or where he's at now in life. And even at this stage in his life, I still wouldn't want to fuck with Mike Tyson. But either way, Reed got the win doing the tsunami. Ugh, God, I'm sorry. Reed got the win doing the tsunami. And then after that, proceeded to go and do multiple tsunamis on The Miz. And then onto R-Truth, which Bronson Reed, you have crossed a fucking line right there, because R-Truth is a goddamn national treasure, and under no circumstances do you never put R-Truth in the line of danger. That is an unforgivable act, good sir. Now with that said, let's get into the main event of the night. We got Sami Zayn going against Bron Breakker in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the coveted Intercontinental Championship. And this nice start with Sami leading into the commercial break. Post break, you see Sami getting the first pin with a haluva kick out of nowhere. After that though, Bron, he just goes straight up. He's straight up pissed on Sami. Picks him up, runs over into the timekeeper's corner and chucks him. Like literally on his shoulder, full running speed, and then chucks him just like he was throwing a dart up against the wall. Like, whoom. Not even a lawn dart, but just a regular dart, like up against a dartboard, just like, ah. Yeah. Then they go to commercial break. We come back from break. Bron is just, yeah, it was like a murder. Bron wound up scoring the second fall. Sami, he fought tooth and nail. He fought with everything he got. It just unfortunately was not enough. This was hands down, I would say this was match of the night on Raw. But unfortunately it was not enough for Sami. Bron wound up getting the second fall after hitting a spear where Sami was jumping off the top rope to go and do a crossbody. Sami was in mid-air. Breakker caught him, speared him for the 1, 2, 3. That was it. And the show ended with Breakker holding the title, screaming and yelling, cheering that he won. So folks, that is it for this week's show. So like we said at the beginning of the show, we are WWE Shop affiliates. So see that QR code up there? See that QR code up there? You should, because it's been up there this whole time watching the show. Scan that with your phone. Or if you're watching this on my personal YouTube page, or listening to this on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast from, open up the description tab. Click on the link there, make a purchase off of that link, and in turn, making a purchase from WWE Shop using that link helps our show get better for you in the long run. And folks, like I always said, thank you to LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship for being a contributor to the show. They are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Thank you. Also, folks, do not forget to check out WhatAManeuver.net for some vicious Rants apparel. Help support the show. If you're watching the video, you see this. If you love me, great. You hate me, shirt. I always love wearing these shirts whenever I can. We got them in t-shirts, women's tees, tanks, unisex, tanks, long sleeves, toddler tees, and baby onesies. Also, folks, they're a perfect gift for somebody you love, somebody you hate, or just a shirt to get the gift of goodwill. Don't forget to check out these cats on Twitter. DSB_IB, Main Event_Net, the Main Event Wrestling Network Twitter page, Sergeant Curry Pants, 3 Count Thursday, and D Dryer 1986. And folks, like the shirt says, if you love me, great, and well, if you hate me,
shut up and sit down.
Fuck you.